This week we're going to talk about sports washing, and no, that doesn't mean washing your sports clothes.
Hello and welcome to the weekly English practice from English Coaching Project.
Hello and welcome to this week's weekly English practice. And this week we're going to talk about sports washing. What on earth is that? In July 2016, Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, my hometown football team, was taken over by a Chinese investment fund called Fosun. This meant that the club was suddenly rich and that, we could get promoted to the Premier League and challenge for places in Europe. And that's exactly what has happened. Fans are really happy, but it's an English football club owned by a Chinese investment fund. It's a bit weird. And I'm enjoying success on the field, but I'm not entirely comfortable with that fact. A Chinese investment fund owns my hometown club. In October 2021, something similar happened with another English club, this time Newcastle United. The Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund, PIF, took over the club. The difference here, though, is that Saudi Arabia is a sovereign state. And a lot of people are criticising, especially now, Saudi Arabia for its human rights record. So, an English football club is owned by a foreign state with a very dodgy human rights record. And this is where we come to the question of sports washing. Sports washing is defined as when an entity or an organisation or a country buys or sponsors a sports team to try and improve their image, typically because they've got a problem with their image. In this week's weekly English practice, ECP coach John, and lifelong and loyal Newcastle United fan, is going to tell us more about sports washing, and in particular the Saudi Arabia takeover of his beloved club. Listen to the article, read the article, and look at the questions at the end. John's going to ask you for your opinions about what he has done since the Saudi Arabian takeover of his club. He started a campaign. He describes that and tells us about it in his article. Let us know what you think about that and about other questions that he asks at the end of the article. Send us an email, send us a WhatsApp, write things down on a piece of paper or on a post-it, whatever. Then send it to us, give it to us, and we'll chat about it. Have a great day, have a great week, and have an absolutely fantastic weekend. And I hope your sports team wins. Bye.
No to sports washing. Reclaim the game. ECP coach John Hurd recounts the moral dilemma he faced when his beloved football team, Newcastle United, NUFC, were bought by a bloody theocratic dictatorship. What would you do if overnight your football club became the richest in the world, but the price you had to pay was that the new owners were a bunch of dictators with one of the worst human rights records on the planet? As a lifelong Newcastle United fan, That was the dilemma I faced last October when the bloody theocratic Saudi dictatorship took over my club. Would I sit on the fence like many fans and say, of course, the new owners have issues with human rights, but there's nothing we can do, while imagining Messi running out to play in a black and white shirt? Or would I stand by my principles and oppose the takeover? I decided that some things are more important than football, namely the lives and unfortunately deaths of brave human rights activists, women, LGBT plus people and bonded workers in Saudi Arabia who are denied basic rights and face imprisonment, floggings and even beheading. I set up a campaign called Sack the Saudi Dictators, Reclaim the Game and NUFC, and started campaigning on social media. Other fans joined, and immediately we had to face an extremely well-financed PR machine which has tried to silence opposition to the dirty deal. Mohammed bin Salman, aka the Butcher of Yemen and de facto head dictator of Saudi Arabia, has his cyber henchmen using thousands of bots on social media to close down criticism of their appalling human rights record. We hit back with memes, tweets and articles. The battle to win hearts and minds began, and we appealed to our fellow fans, arguing that football has come a long way regarding racism, sexism and LGBT plus rights, although with clear problems remaining. However, the Saudi takeover of NUFC puts that progress in danger. There can be no double standards. We support human rights at our club and in Saudi Arabia. Beheadings, discrimination against LGBT plus people, arrest, torture and abuse of women activists, exploitation of bonded labour and war crimes in Yemen are not mere issues, but gross human rights abuses. The longer the dictators stay, the more they will stain our club's reputation. The deal has wider implications for the whole of football. Is it right that any state, including a state like Saudi Arabia, which has such an appalling human rights record, be allowed to own a football club? The Saudi dictators are using their vast wealth to divert attention away from their many crimes. This is called sports washing and is a tactic used by other undemocratic regimes such as China, Qatar and Abu Dhabi. The recent Spanish Cup mini-tournament in Saudi Arabia is another example of how the bloody regime is using football to massage their bad image. The Saudis have also put on the table €100 million a season sponsorship deal with financially strapped FC Barcelona. If the offer is accepted, the club's motto will have to be changed from Més que un club to More Than Hypocrites. Hopefully, Barca fans will rise up and put a stop to their club being infected by the dictator's money. NUFC players and staff recently visited Jeddah, the port city of Saudi Arabia. On the day they set off, Saudi missiles were fired at Yemen. At least 70 people were killed, including 3 children playing on a football field in Hudaydah. NUFC's visit was a welcome distraction from the attack on Yemen. Newcastle players were given the red carpet treatment, and news of the deaths was forgotten. This is how sports washing works and why it must be opposed. Here are this week's questions. 1. Summarise John's dilemma. 2. What did he decide to do? 3. Can you give other examples of sports washing, current and historic? 4. How is sport used and misused in this country by the powerful? 5. What are other common moral dilemmas? 6. Have you ever faced a moral dilemma? 7. Can sports washing be stopped?